So now it's almost fall. The last day of summer was yesterday. So now we got to start doing all the fall stuff. We've got these 3 ornamental globe cherry trees that we're going to put here for them to bloom next spring. They're very, very pretty from what I understand. And also, we have a lot of stuff to start harvesting. It's been really cool having a garden where you can just go outside and pick vegetables and have dinner. So we've got a lot of broccoli here, like everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's loads of broccoli. So we haven't actually harvested any yet, but it looks like it's ready. Then we've got loads of beets. We already harvested some, but you can't tell at all. There's so many. So we're gonna have to start harvesting those. Yeah, loads and loads of beets packed down in there. I'm sure it's hundreds. And we have just as many carrots, just packed full here. Because they're so packed full, they're kind of small. So, gonna be lots of carrots harvested. We'll have to pickle things, freeze things. Then we've got 2 different kinds of cucumber vines growing. We've harvested quite a bit of these. Let's see, trying to reach. There's a big cucumber in there. And let's see. Well, there's lots of cucumbers in here, but this one's the really big one. We're trying to save this one, not harvesting, so we can get some seeds. Because these cucumbers were so nice, we want the same variety next year. And these were just experimental cherry tomatoes that won't make it, so they'll be composted. We've also got, what's it called? Parsnip here. It's surely ready. We've got a lot of bees on these radish flowers. We left some in the planter to flower so that we can get seeds. And there's seed pods right there. We'll have plenty of seeds for lots of radishes. Looks like they made it. And then we've got loads and loads of tomatoes. These are a big variety. And it looks like, yeah, these are called money maker. And looks like pretty much all of them are gonna turn red now, just in time. Like, look at all these, just packed full of tomatoes. Loads and loads of tomatoes. We're gonna have to freeze and make sun-dried tomatoes and tomato sauce. And then we've got another big variety that are the striped ones, Tigerella. They're starting to not look too good, but there's still loads and loads of those. We've eaten a lot. Yeah, there's a ton of these. We've got our hot pepper here, chilies, and then our small sweet kind of chili. I'll see if I can bring those guys indoors, I don't know. Then we've got bell pepper plants, only a couple. And looks like those are about ready. And these have really been good about keeping bugs away, so yeah. It's a cold bulb mix. And I can't remember the word in English right now. We have those placed everywhere, keeping bugs away, and it works very well. So yeah, there's all the tomatoes, the big ones. Here's all the cherry tomatoes. As you can see, there are so many that, I mean, they're just falling onto the ground. There's no way to contain them all. Yeah, just cherry tomatoes everywhere. Yeah, and they're keeping the bees happy too. Just look, I mean, there's so many tomatoes. I'll have to find what to do with them all. It just doesn't stop. They're everywhere. I mean, and this is only 10 plants that made this many. Over there it's only 4 plants. And I've got dogs here. Right, doggies? Right, Delma? Huh? What you doing? Looks like she's eating cucumber. Oh, did you find a cucumber? You sure did. Oh, well, it's okay, I guess. She found a cucumber to chew.
Cucumber.
Is it good? Don't take it, it's okay.
No.
That's a little bit funny. I've got very health conscious dogs. Take a cucumber off the vine and start eating. Num num. That's kind of funny. It's because the cucumber vines got so long that they just fell over the backside of the fence. And this is where the dogs like to run around sometimes.
1, 2, 3. Oh, should look.
Oh, that's where it is. You might as well pull it off, and we can salvage that half anyway. Well, that's hilarious. That is really hilarious.
Good girl. Cucumber.
That's the cucumber she took from. She wanted it. Yeah, look how big that was, and she already had a big chunk. That's funny. That is so funny. I'll set it down for a minute. Okay. And then let's see, we have sunflowers over here. They're starting to look a little bit sad. I think they got dried out a bit. The rain can't get to them. But we've got a couple here for sure that we'll have time to get the seeds for next year. There's several about to open now. So, yeah, this is usually where I have my sunflowers against the house. And we've got plenty of flowers to get seeds from. So we'll have to harvest those. Here's where a lot of work is going to have to be done. It's like this. We have a pumpkin patch. Not just a pumpkin patch, apparently. I counted on that. That's why there were a few pumpkin plants put in this really big planter, and that exploded. See, pumpkin's already getting big. Here's my hand for reference. So there's several of those already, pretty much all around here. But the surprise to us was that we had a couple small squash plants. We bought from the grocery store 2 squash plants. It didn't really say what it was. And they were really, and I mean really small, like 2 leaves. And well, they sort of ended up being these huge buttercup round yellow squashes, and apparently they're on the vine too. And this is what they look like. Oops, let's see. They look like this. They get really big though, like a pumpkin. Well, maybe not quite as big as a pumpkin, but they get big. So these 2 plants just exploded, took over a huge part, and over there too. Like, it just doesn't stop. They go all the way around. This is pumpkin right here, going all the way down. We had to put more of this weed cloth so the grass doesn't grow, and so that it can continue to do its thing. We also have these star squashes. I think it's only 1 or 2 plants. They're not on the vine, so we were able to contain those all right. But yeah, let me see, go around. Yeah, this is the other buttercup squash. It ended up like it was this small plant over here, and then thought we'd keep it contained in the planter, but instead it had its own plans. It grew and grew and grew. Now it's all the way over here on, like, on the other side of the yard. So we have like this huge squash / pumpkin patch that it's been crazy. Lots of good stuff growing. There's more pumpkins on this side. I mean, this is amazing. We've had this yellow crookneck squash growing. It's looking sad right now, but this thing really gave us so much squash. Like, it's crazy. So much squash. I don't know what's going on here. It has a squash, a yellow, okay, it's 2 plants here. Zucchini. These are 8-ball zucchinis. These have thrived very well too. They're not on the vine either. But yeah, we got loads of squash we gotta eat up here. Also, herbs, like a crazy amount of herbs. I'm gonna try to bring some inside in a pot. I don't know how that'll go, but I'll try. And the rest I'll dry. So we got mint, rosemary, loads of thyme. I use fresh thyme every day for a tea, and it's excellent. It does so much for the body. Here's chives. Here's arugula. It really exploded. A lot of arugula. Here's the curly parsley. Now see, we left all this because these are making pods for Japanese lettuce mix. So we left those, let them stay. Yeah, so curly parsley. And this is just your regular straight parsley. Loads of it. And we've got basil. Man, that stuff is good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, over here, this was covered up. We got oregano too. Here was a bunch of chard. We allowed the remaining bit of chard to flower, and we'll see if we have time to harvest seeds or not. Yeah. In the middle there, those are just lilies and irises, so they'll come back next year. There. Yeah. So I'm just, showing the end result of our vegetable garden. It has been, like I said, really cool to experience this. Just, walk out of the house and go pick out some squashes and zucchinis and fresh herbs and root vegetables, and then things for salad like different tomato varieties and cucumber varieties. Yeah, carrots and beets, and then even broccoli. And then there's a funny story about this apple tree. Johannes was eating an apple, and a couple of the seeds inside had started to sprout. So, out of curiosity, I planted them. There's another. That one's sad, but there's one that turned out really strong. So that's funny. We'll try to get this guy in the ground maybe next year. He's too little right now. And then these are pink grapefruit trees. We'll see if anything comes of that. But yeah. And otherwise, we've picked loads of berries here in the yard, currants and gooseberries. We made like the most delicious berry juice from those. Looks like there's still a few berries. Okay, that's it.